Seattle City Council is back in session this week after a contentious election cycle in November, an election that saw Seattle voters restore 3 council members to their seats, including Socialist councilwoman Kshama Sawant. Despite efforts by Amazon and the business community to defeat her, she prevailed and will now be the most senior member of Seattle's council. And let me tell you what, she's coming back with a little bit of a chip on her shoulder, a little unfinished business she wants to get done. Over the holiday break, Sawant penned an op-ed in Counterpunch titled "Tax Amazon Strike While the Iron is Hot." In it, she wrote, "In spite of Amazon's all-out attempted hostile corporate takeover of Seattle City Hall this year, working people just beat the richest man in the world by running perhaps the strongest grassroots campaign ever in our city. When we fight, we can win." Sawant says come January 13th, she will kick off a new effort to tax Amazon and adds that she's already drafting legislation. But let's not forget the last time the city tried this. The result was perhaps the most controversial, convoluted, embarrassing display of city politics Seattle has seen in years. The council passed a tax on business, hailed their difficult vote as a victory, then promptly reversed course, repealing the tax they just passed after realizing how much backlash they were facing. And now, just an election removed from that debacle, Sawant wants to try it again. But the reality is few other council members are as eager as Sawant to take that vote. Councilwoman Lisa Herbold, who voted for it the first time around, told me after she won re-election that she believes any future iterations of the employee hours tax should be put on the ballot for voters to decide. Look, you may be thinking, no way. No way Seattle is going to bring this one back up. No way Seattle voters would support something that crashed and burned in such epic fashion less than 2 years ago. But how soon you'd be forgetting what happened in November, when voters rejected a slate of business-friendly candidates angry over Amazon's attempt to use its money to influence the results. When voters put back in office the councilwoman who has made taxing Amazon the perennial promise of her political career. After the election was over, I wrote an op-ed titled "November's Election," or titled "Seattle Has Decided What Kind of City It Wants to Be, for Better or Worse." I wrote that November's election was a referendum on Amazon, and Amazon lost. So while Sawant has a chip on her shoulder, she is certainly not alone. And if a tax on business goes to the ballot, Seattle voters just gave us a pretty good idea of what they'll decide.